So, you must be looking for the secrets to succeed in life, and you've looked everywhere, and all you've been getting is, just believe in yourself and the universe will make it happen. Well, there is some truth to that, and they ain't technically lying to you, but I'm not here to bore you about that. What I'm here to talk about are these little lovelies. I'm Skyelancer, and in the next few minutes, I'll be teaching you all that it takes to play the simple yet phenomenal game called D&D. No, I'm not referring to breast size by any chance. What I'm talking about is Dungeons and Dragons. If you're still here, good for you! Now some of you might be thinking, "Hey Skyelancer, but D&D is so complicated, and you must be a math whiz with all the complications to enjoy it." Or, "But Skyelancer, D&D are for nerds and losers like me." But if there's one thing that you can take out of this video, it's that in the world of D&D, you can achieve anything you want in life with just a die roll. That's right, a die roll. No, I'm not saying murder any small piece of bread that you have. What kind of monster are you? What I'm talking about is this. And these. So D&D is a social game you play with a bunch of your friends or strangers where 4 to 6 or even more as you see fit are players, and one is called a Dungeon Master or a DM. It's a collaborative storytelling and role-playing game where you go through 3 basic patterns. Number 1, the Dungeon Master or the DM describes the environment. Number 2, the players describe what they want to do. And number 3, the DM narrates the results of the player's actions. Simple as that. And that's right, in D&D, you can do anything you want. You want to rappel down a hatch to avoid traps to steal a valuable object, Mission Impossible style? You can do it. You want to deduce who the killer is in your murder mystery mansion, Sherlock Holmes style? You certainly can do it. Tally-ho! The key word is, you can do it. But will you actually succeed in doing it? Now, each of your actions can be categorized under 6 abilities. Strength, dexterity, Constitution, Intelligence, Wisdom, and Charisma, which can be further subcategorized into these skill checks. But that's not important right now, because in the world of D&D, all you need to do is just tell the DM, the Dungeon Master, what do you want to do? Okay, say you want to intimidate someone because you see them bullying a child from the Dungeon Master's description. All you need to do is you roll your D20, which is your 20-sided die, right over here. And the DM will compare your roll to what we call a difficulty class. It's a fancy way of saying the score you need to beat in order to succeed in that specific action you want to do. If the result of your roll is the number of the difficulty class that the DM set, or even higher, then you succeed in intimidating that person bullying the child. However, if you roll and your result is lower than the difficulty class the DM set, well, then unfortunately, the person you are trying to intimidate bullies you too. That's life. This is the same pattern for every action you want to take. Trying to find an important object in, say, the library? Well, you just declare what you want to do, you roll this D20, this 20-sided die, and you'll either find the object you're looking for there, or not. Now, if you have any bonuses, or if you're proficient with certain skills, then you add that to the result of your roll. Say you roll a D20 because you want to, say, steal someone's keys from their back pocket, and the person you're trying to steal from is not an alert type of person. So the DM sets the difficulty class in his mind to something like maybe an 8 because he's not alert. Now, say you have a bonus to your dexterity because you are proficient with the sleight of hand skill. So that's a +2 to whatever your dexterity roll is. Now you roll your D20 and say unfortunately, because the gods are not with you at that opportune moment, your result is a 6. But because you are proficient with the sleight of hand skill check, you add +2 to your dexterity roll. So that's 6 + 2, that's an 8, which matches the DM difficulty class. So with a little bit of difficulty, you were able to nick the keys out of that someone's back pocket. Let's make it more interesting and say that you are in a situation where you see your son trapped in the middle of a gorge and he is in danger of being trampled by a bunch of raging wildebeests. Lion King reference. So you jump in the middle of the gorge to get your son and you declare that you want to toss him up high on the rock where he won't be trampled by these raging lunatics. Now, you need to roll your d20, but because you've been bruised and you've been hit by the ongoing commotion and the stampede, the DM, in his mind, thinks that for you to succeed, you need a difficulty class of 20. A whopping 20 to succeed. Now, you're not athletic, your character is not strong at all, so therefore you have no proficiencies or no bonuses. You still make your d20 roll, just for the sake of it. And lo and behold, because of plot armor, because you're one lucky bastard, you roll a natural 20. That's your first natural 20 of the evening. The whole table cheers for you. You cheer for yourself because that's your first natural 20 of the evening. Now, you succeed in tossing your son up high on the rock and you save him. The end. But not really, because you know how the story goes. You go up the rocks, you roll your acrobatics check, you get a natural 1 for your result, and then your brother betrays you and he kills you. And boom, your character's dead. You create a new one. Your declarations for any actions that you like to do, plus the Dungeon Master's descriptions of the events, plus how good and how bad your role and your other friends' roles are, make each Dungeon & Dragons sessions very unique. So not one Dungeon & Dragons repeats itself. That's why it's very fun. There are certain instances where the Dungeon Master may deem you worthy of rolling an advantage or rolling a disadvantage. What does that mean? Rolling an advantage just simply means you roll your d20 twice, but you need to get the highest result out of that roll. On the other hand, rolling for a disadvantage is basically the same. You roll the d20 twice, however, you need to get the lowest roll out of the two. It's what makes the game a lot more interesting. But most important of all, D&D can be played anywhere and anytime, and all you need is your dice and just your imagination. No fancy gadgets or screens. You probably need a pencil and a paper to keep track on things, but that's it. Nothing else. It's purely entertainment that you and your friends make for yourselves. Are you being socially distant because of the ongoing pandemic? That's alright, because D&D is a game that you can still play online. And it's very easy to set up games online. Most people nowadays do their online sessions using a free app called Discord. Now, Discord is actually an app that allows you to talk to your friends and is actually used for gaming. Now, you might be concerned about, where do I roll my die? What about the die roll? Well, you can just easily go through Google. On the search bar, type in roll d20, roll d10, roll d6, depending on how many sided die you need to roll, and it will actually roll for you on the search bar. Now, if you're more into visuals like I am, if you want to see tokens, if you want to see the map of where you are, if you want to see your characters, well, there's a website called Roll20 that actually allows you to create games for free. And the good thing about Roll20 is you can actually pick up where you left off. So you can have ongoing campaigns that can last maybe for weeks, for months, for even years. Depends on you. So you use the voice channel for Discord so that you can speak to your friends. You use Roll20 so you can see what's happening around. And actually Roll20 has incorporated a die roll there, so you don't need Google. If you're on Roll20, you can roll your dice there. Or anything that you need to do, it can actually be on Roll20. Now, combine those two together, Discord and Roll20, and it's like playing through tabletop. And it's like your friends are there with you in the room. So in the world of D&D, you can literally achieve anything you want out of your character's life with just a simple die roll. Anything is possible, but the lingering question still remains. Will you succeed or will you not? If If you want to know more about D&D, such as creating your first character ever, something that I think is one of the most fun and the most important things to do during your first session, well then tune in to my YouTube as I upload more content and as I teach you more about this fun and social game. I'm also streaming on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube, and you can like, watch, and follow me on any of those platforms. And most of all, if any of you find this video to be useful or interesting, don't forget to smash the like and subscribe button so you'll get to know when the next content is out. This has been theskyelancer, out.